everybody. I'm Professor Wright. We're here at the Cooperative Extension Service in Little Rock, Arkansas for the 4-H After School program. And today we're going to be talking about Halloween makeup. And I brought my old college chum in to help us with this little experiment today. This is Erin Anson, who is the stage manager for the Arkansas Ballet. She graduated from the UALR Theater Department, and she is an expert at doing aging effects. And the reason we want to talk about aging effects today is because at the end you'll see that we can use this for a variety of different costumes. It doesn't just have to be an old person. One of the things we want to point out is that we are pretty much using over-the-counter makeup for the most part. She's brought a little bit of professional stuff with her, but most of this is makeup that you can get at a dollar store. Or if your mom is willing to let you borrow hers, just make sure you have permission first. One of the things we want to iterate throughout this video is that, don't do this wearing your Sunday best. You need to wear old t-shirts while you're doing this, wrap a towel around you, as you see we've done here on our victim, Sarah. So, to begin with, I guess, let's talk a little bit about what you do as a profession.
As a profession, I'm the production manager for Ballet Arkansas, which means that I basically make sure that the dancers of the company have everything they need when they go into places to perform. So I do a lot of communication between different facilities and different managers as far as we go to different places in Arkansas, we go to schools, we go to professional venues, we go to convention centers, and so I just have to handle what we have to do and what we have to bring and supply to be able to have those dancers look their best on stage.
Okay. And so that's a great example, though. We know that a lot of theater and news people wear makeup. Do dancers wear makeup? Dancers
wear quite a bit of makeup because they're on that stage so far away from their audience that they do some very dramatic eyeliner that's actually not even on their eyelids. It's kind of down here below where your eye's nice and soft before your bone starts on your cheek to make it look like their eyes are popping. Otherwise, they just look washed out like they're ghosts on stage.
Talk to me a little bit about what you brought here today and what the kids at home can be using to do their makeup job.
Yeah, well, what I brought today is, first of all, I brought a brush, and this is a makeup brush, but you can use any kind of brush that you get in any kind of arts and crafts kind of supply that you use to paint on paper with. Just something that's flat and small so that you can be really precise with the lines that you're drawing. You can also use an eyebrow pencil or an eyeliner pencil in brown or black to create the desired effect that this brush is going to create. Either way, though, it's just trying to make clean lines so that you can be as precise as possible so you can mess with it later on. This is a foundation. It's super, super pale because since we're doing old face, old people don't usually tend to get into the sun on a regular basis, so they're a little bit paler in complexion, and it helps to really draw out the browns and the tans that we're going to be using with this brush. This is a sponge that you apply the makeup with. You can apply makeup with your fingers. It's just easier to not mix your colors along the way if you're using a sponge, because you can have different sponges for different colors, whereas your fingers just start to kind of muck all the colors up together. I've got this dark brown, it's called a shadow. You can use any kind of dark brown makeup or dark brown pencil to achieve what we're going to use with that. I've got a little bit of a lighter brown on this as well. You can substitute a gray, a tan for these things. You just want two dark colors like a soft gray or a tan, and then a dark brown or a dark gray to achieve the wrinkles that we're trying to make. Beyond that, I've got this little palette that has a lip rouge and a blush on it, and the blush that they supply is actually a great color to make your eyes look kind of bloodshot and tired, so that's what I use on the eyeballs. And then this is actually something that Ben and I, a professional makeup company, makes that's called Old Face. And it's a little bit darker than this foundation I have. And when I use this little sponge right here called a stipple sponge and use it on her skin, it'll make this kind of texture on there that's very similar to when wrinkles get kind of bunched up and look a little bit flaky. I also have this translucent powder that keeps everything nice and set after you've applied the makeup. Lotion, which you always want to put on before you start putting on makeup so that your skin is real open to whatever kind of colors you're putting on there. And then I also have this snow white hair color to put in her eyebrows and in the fronts of her hair so that you can really follow through with that old face look.
Now, if they don't have some professional makeup, they could substitute maybe some silver or something like that that they can get at the Dollar General store?
Absolutely. Actually, what I did last night when I was just kind of playing around at home was I took this bright color right here that's called a highlight. We're going to use this as well when we're on the face for any kind of like cheek spots or the big high points and the wrinkles. Using highlight in combination with these browns will make them seem like deep wrinkles that are really coming out over the top and sinking in really low. So what I did with this highlight was I just brushed it in my, my model's beard hair, and it actually ended up looking pretty white and pretty gray. So if you don't have anything to put in hair, you can always use a clown white paste that you can get at like the dollar store, Kmart, Walmart, any drugstore. That's for a clown face, but you just put it in your hair and it does the same effect.
And so one of the things we want to talk about too is the fact that, you know, you don't have to be an old person. So there's a little science involved in here in this where we need to learn about the color palette in general. So for the kids at home, we know that, you know, yellow and blue make green, and red and yellow make orange, and red and blue make violet. So these are some of the mixing colors that you need to know about. So we can substitute some of the lighter colors and the browns with maybe greens and browns to create more of a zombie or a Frankenstein effect.
Absolutely. You can definitely access your greens and your kind of gray, yellow, green area that you kind of associate with gore and horror. You can absolutely apply those in a similar style as putting on Old Face that will achieve a very zombie-esque or Dracula-esque kind of effect.
Well, and just to speak of some of the professional effects, this is liquid latex. A lot of times if you look at some of the Halloween specialty shops this time of year, they'll have smaller, more affordable bottles than this. This one will run you $40 or $50. We've also got some blood powder. So if you're doing the zombies or, well, anything, and you want to get a little blood on there, this will help you create that kind of dried blood look. Some of this stuff will be available at the Halloween specialty stores, but it's not necessary because we can do all this without these.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there are things that you can substitute if you want to make scar tissue, such as gum. Elmer's glue works, depending on where you're putting it. Don't put it on your face. You can do a lot of different things just by adding a little color to other substances. Even something like calamine lotion can actually give you that sort of cracked, speckled look.
Absolutely.
So there's plenty of household stuff that is safe to use. You don't have to go out and spend $40 or $50 on these makeup jobs. In fact, the point of this is to show you how to do a costume for a very little amount of money. If your mom has the makeup already, you're good to go. We want to get started, and what we'll do is we're going to focus on what Erin is doing on Sarah here. At the same time, I'm going to try to mimic myself in a mirror, because that's what you're going to be doing at home, you know, unless you can get somebody else to do your makeup for you.
That would be lucky.
Yeah. Feel free to have this video running and, you know, hit pause and just follow it step by step with Erin, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. And this is one of those things, too, that we should point out. Erin is a professional, and she has done this many times. She has a lot of practice at this. You may not get it right the first time. You may have to go back and do a little bit of touch-up here and there. We can look at all this as a learning experience for everyone, and this is a really good chance to experiment. And in terms of experimentation, it's good to do, like Erin was saying, practicing the night before. So if you have time and the ability, you know, go ahead and try this the day before Halloween instead of trying to do it all at the last minute, because that's one thing I always want to put across to the youth of America. Preparation is everything. With that said, I guess, Erin, why don't you go ahead and make this woman old?
Okay, well.